What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of New Comics This Week. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the new releases for May 3rd, 2023's New Comic Book Day. As always, I'm going to be talking about all the new releases from the major publishers, a ton of the indie companies as well, those new books, variant covers. If there's any sort of other important info about those books, I'm going to be going over that too, and of course, which ones I'm going to be getting as well. Now, as always, as I begin to talk about these new releases, just be aware that there's still delays and shipment issues happening amongst the different publishers, so once it gets closer to New Comic Book Day, just check with your LCS to see which ones they actually got in. Now, without further ado, everyone, let's talk some comics. And now, real quick, everyone, if you are new to these videos, down below in the description, I got a chapter list of all the different publishers I'm going to be talking about today, so feel free to jump around this video. And as far as the free comic book day books goes, I'm not going to be covering that in this video. I'm going to be saving that for the upcoming live stream, so stay tuned for that. The first publisher on my list this week is ARCOMICS, and the first one's the start of a brand new story. We got Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, Game On, issue number 1. Moving on, this is the only other one they've got. It's Archie Showcase Digest, issue number 13, Comic Shop Chaos. Next publisher on my list this week is Zenescope, and the first one is Van Helsing, Finding Neverland, issue number 1. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. This is the cover C Santa Cruz variant, and then finally we've got a cover D Tabanis variant. Moving on to Cinderella vs. Queen of Hearts, issue number 2. This one's also got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Tarragona variant, and then finally a cover C Lamar variant. Moving on to Titan Comics, they've got Star Wars Insider issue number 218 on the way. Here's cover A. We've got a foil edition variant, and now finally a PX exclusive cover. Moving on to Oni Press, they've got one brand new series coming out. It's Lamentation issue number 1. This one's got 6 different covers. So just a quick heads up, everyone. Usually when a book like this has quite a few covers, for example, this one's got 6, I usually only go over cover A and some of the other ones that I really like. So check the other ones out online. Here's cover A. This is the cover B Paquette variant, and then finally we've got a cover C Hots variant. Next up is Scout Comics. The first one is Banshees, issue number 2. The only other one they've got this week is Oswald and the Star Chaser, issue number 2. Moving on to Mad Cave Studios, they've got one brand new one. It's Monomyth, issue number 1. It's got 4 different covers. This is cover A. We got a cover B Doe variant, and then finally a 1/100 Mad Cave exclusive. Moving on to Vault Comics, they've got Godfell, issue number 3. This is cover A, and here's cover B, the Gooden variant. Moving on to Ablaze, they've got the start of a brand new volume coming out. I know a lot of people are really pumped for this one. It's Animal Castle, Volume 2, issue number 1. I've talked to so many people that absolutely love this series. I've only read the first couple of issues, and I missed out on the later ones, but from what I've read, I've really enjoyed it too, so take that for what it is. It's also got 8 different covers. So here's cover A, this is the cover B Deep variant, and then finally we've got a cover C Blank Sketch variant. Moving on to Black Mass Studios, they've got one brand new one coming out as well. It's Destiny New York Mythic Mafia, issue number 1. This one's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A, we got a cover B Rumboli variant, and then finally a cover C Lyrics Gallery variant. Next publisher on my list this week is Whatnot Publishing. They've got one brand new series. It's Astrobots, issue number 1. It's got 9 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Tronic variant, and then finally cover C Bircham variant. Moving on to Source Point Press, and this is the last small indie publisher I'm going to be covering this week. They've got Last Witch Hammer Ashcan, issue number 1 coming out, and it's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a Sanchez variant, and now finally a foil variant. As of now, I don't have anything on my pull list from a lot of these publishers, but I am going to be checking out some of the new series. I'm going to see if my shop's getting the new one from Ablaze, the new one from Whatnot, but we're going to go from there. But next up, let's talk about Image Comics and Boom Studios. And here we go, everyone. First up today from Image, we've got Radiant Black, issue number 24. Now, I know I've been very back and forth in this series, but the last issue was awesome, and it feels like we're finally moving on with the main plot. The robots are headed to Earth. I'm excited to see what they do with the story. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Costa variant, and now finally a 1/10 Mafood Incentive variant. Moving on to The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue number 62. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Adler and McCage variant, and now finally we've got a cover C Hans variant. Followed up with that, we've got Love Everlasting, issue number 7. Here's cover A, and then we got a cover B Hernandez variant. Moving on to I Hate This Place, issue number 8. I'm a big fan of this series. I really like horror stuff. It kind of reminds me from DC's Joe Hill House a little while ago. Basket Full of Heads kind of has that artwork style, and the comedy's kind of there too, but overall, still a good horror series. Here's cover A, and then we got a cover B explicit variant. Moving on to Blood Tree, issue number 4. Followed up with that, we've got Almighty, issue number 4. Now, next up, we've got Junk Rabbit, issue number 2. I love that first issue. I thought it was awesome. Very unique plot, in my opinion, so I'm definitely going to be sticking with this one. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Robinson variant, and now finally cover C Blank Sketch variant. Followed up with that, we got a brand new one coming out from Image this week. It's Star Signs, issue number 1. Here's cover A, and then we got a cover B Doran variant. Followed up with that, this is the last one coming out from Image this week, so a little bit lighter of a week, but I mean, hey, free comic book day's coming up. It's Hey Kids Comics Schlock of the New, issue number 2. Out of all those issues, I'm going to be getting Radiant Black, issue number 24. I Hate This Place, number 8. Almighty, issue number 4. Junk Rabbit, number 2, and I'm definitely going to be checking out Star Signs issue number 1. So moving on to Boom Studios, they're having a very light week as well. The first one is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT Volume 2 issue number 5. This one's got 15 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Eastman and Williams variant, and now finally a cover C Tao variant. The only other one they've got this week is the start of a new series. We got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Lost Summer issue number 1. This one's got 5 different covers. This is cover A. We got a cover B Fish variant, and then finally 1 in 10 Aldolfo incentive variant. Out of both of those issues, I'm for sure going to be getting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT Volume 2 issue number 5. I'm not caught up in the series. I read Volume 1 and I really enjoyed it, but the type of series that is, you can just sit down and read it all at once, and that's what I'm going to do with this one. But next up, let's talk about Dark Horse, IDW, and Dynamite. Here we go. First one today from Dark Horse is Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, issue number 4. Followed up with that, we got Where Monsters Lie, issue number 4. This series is awesome. I definitely recommend checking this one out. Here's cover A, and then we got a cover B Reuben variant. Moving on to Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, issue number 5. This is cover A, and here's cover B, the Nord variant. Followed up with that, some more Star Wars for you fans. We got Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, The Nameless Terror, issue number 3. Followed up with that is Hairball, issue number 2. This is a brand new horror series. I wasn't 100% sold on the first issue. Really interesting plot, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, but I'm definitely going to continue on with it. And now finally, this is the last one coming out from them this week, and it's the start of a new series. We got Survival, issue number 1. Out of all of them, I'm for sure going to be getting Where Monsters Lie, issue number 4, Hairball, issue number 2, and I'm definitely going to check out if my shop gets it, Survival, issue number 1. But moving on to IDW, the first one is TMNT Yosagi Yojimbo, Where When, issue number 2. This one's got 8 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Eastman variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Meyer incentive variant. Followed up with that is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, The Dog of War, issue number 2. This one's got 7 different covers. This is cover A. We got a cover B Bartok variant, and now finally a cover C Price variant. Next up is My Little Pony, issue number 12. This is cover A. Here's cover B variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Justasuda incentive variant. Moving on, this is the last one coming out from them this week. We got Breath of Shadows, issue number 4. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Beren's variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Mulvey incentive variant. Out of those issues, I might stick with Breath of Shadows, issue number 4. We'll see. I really liked the first issue, didn't like the second issue at all, and I thought the third one was just okay. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Moving on, we got Dynamite. The first one is Draculina, Blood Simple, issue number 3. This one's got 12 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Linsner variant, and now finally a cover C Kayanan variant. Moving on to Lord of the Jungle, issue number 5. This one's got 10 different covers. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Panassian variant, and now finally cover C Burns variant. And now finally from them this week, we got Barbarella, The Center Cannot Hold, issue number 3. And it's got 12 different covers. This is cover A. We got a cover B Selena variant, and now finally a cover C Viganti variant. Won't be grabbing any of them. So next up, let's talk about DC Comics. All right, so the first one today from DC is Batman, issue number 135, and it's got 12 different covers. Here's cover A, here's cover B, the Casada Connecting variant, and now finally we've got a cover D Del Otto variant. Moving on to The Flash, issue number 798. This one's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A, we got a cover B Perkins variant, and then finally cover C Young variant. Next up on my list this week, we got Poison Ivy, issue number 12. This one's also got 5 different covers. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Frizzen variant, and then finally a cover C Zermanico variant. Moving on to Batman and the Joker, Deadly Duo, issue number 7. I've heard phenomenal things about this one. I talk about it every time it pops up in this video. I'm just going to wait for the hardcover to come out, read it all at once. This one's got 8 different covers. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Bisley Batman and Joker variant, and now finally cover C, Bisley, Joker, and Batman variant. Next up, we've got Adventures of Superman, John Kent, issue number 3. This one's got 5 different covers. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Orzu variant, and now finally cover C, Richardson variant. Next up, we've got a new series. It's Shazam, issue number 1. It's got 8 different covers. This is cover A. We got a cover B Sam Nee variant, and now finally cover C Tim's variant. Next one on my list this week, we got The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 8. This one's got 4 different covers. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Matina variant, and then finally we got a cover C Man variant. After that, we've got a new series. It's Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue number 1. This one sounds pretty good. This one's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Beren's variant, and now finally cover C, aka movie poster variant. Now, this might blow a couple of you away, maybe surprise a few of you, but I have not seen the Peacemaker show yet. I've heard it's so good. I just got HBO, so I'm excited to sit down and watch it. Next up, we got Batman The Audio Adventures, issue number 6. Here's cover A, and then we got a cover B all red variant. Moving on, this is the last one coming out from them this week. We got Dawn of DC, We Are Legends Special Edition, issue number 1. Out of all those issues, I'm for sure going to check out Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue number 1. But next up, let's finish this video now with Marvel Comics. So now, I'd say overall, these publishers are having a pretty light week due to Free Comic Book Day coming up, but Marvel's up next, and we've got a lot of books coming out from them. First up today is Moon Knight issue number 23, and it's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got the Renaud variant, and now finally a Balzuda Stormbreakers variant. Moving on to Immortal X-Men issue number 11, and it's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a Clark Spider-Verse variant, and now finally a 1 in 25 Mercado incentive variant. Moving on to Star Wars Darth Vader issue number 23. Here's cover A. We got Sprouse Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary variant, and now finally a FAM variant. Continuing on with Marvel, we've got Spider-Man issue number 8. You Spidey fans, you Carnage symbiote fans, gear up, including you Star Wars fans. We got a big week for all of that stuff. Here's cover A. We got a Ramos variant, and now finally the Liefeld homage variant. Moving on to Star Wars issue number 34. This one's got 5 different covers. This is cover A. We got a Noto variant, and now finally a JTC action figure variant. Next up is Scarlet Witch issue number 5. It's got 5 different variants. This is cover A. We got an Aspinall Spider-Verse variant, and now finally a 1 in 25 Swabby incentive variant. Next up is Star Wars Dr. Aphra issue number 31. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Sprouse Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary variant. Moving on to Star Wars Yoda issue number 7. This one's got 4 different covers. This is cover A. Here's the Knock variant, and now finally 125 Fairy incentive variant. Continuing on, we got X-Men Before the Fall, Sons of X, issue number 1. So a new one for you X-Men fans. Here's cover A. This is the Simmons variant, and then finally a Paquette variant. Next up, we got a series finale for Joe Fixit, issue number 5. Moving on to Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 1. This one's got 9 different covers. I feel like we just had an Edge of Spider-Verse series. I don't know why we need another one so soon. Just my opinion, though. Here's cover A. This is the 1 in 25 Lashley incentive variant, and now finally a 1 in 50 Brown incentive variant. Moving on to the Avengers War Across Time, issue number 5. Followed up with that, we got the start of a brand new event. Another one. I don't know who's asking for this right now, but we got Carnage Reigns Alpha issue number 1. I feel like we had absolute carnage that led to King in Black, or King of Black, whatever they called it. Then over summer we had Carnage Extreme that moved into a Carnage ongoing series, and now Carnage Reigns Alpha again. I don't know, it's too much symbiote stuff for me, and these are some of my favorite characters. I feel like they're just beating it down to the ground at this point, milking it for what it's worth. Just my opinion, though. Here's cover A. We got Clark Connecting variant, and now finally 125 HOTS incentive variant. Followed up with that, we got Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis issue number 1. It's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got Lashley Frame variant, and now finally 125 Mason Handbook incentive variant. Moving on to Cult of Carnage Misery issue number 1. I feel like I've got the misery seeing all of these books coming out that if they just spread them out a little bit more instead of just laying it all on us at once, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of over it at this point. Here's cover A. This is the 1 in 25 U incentive, and now finally 1 in 50 Scan incentive variant. After that, we got a new series. I am looking forward to this one. We got Groot issue number 1. It's probably going to be a cool little series. It's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We got Peach Momoko variant, and now finally a 1 in 25 Sue incentive variant. Next up, we've got Demon Wars Scarlet Sin issue number 1. It says in this one, it is continued from Demon Wars Down in Flames issue number 1. It's got 9 different covers. This is cover A. We got 125 Bartel incentive, and now finally a 1 in 100 Peach Momoko incentive variant. This next one is the last one coming out from them this week. It's Star Wars Return of the Jedi Lando issue number 1, and it's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a 125 Raza incentive, and now finally 1 in 100 Brown incentive variant. Out of all those issues, I told you, Marvel's got a lot of books coming out this week, but it's kind of all Star Wars and symbiote related. Couple X-Men books too, so I don't know. The ones I'm for sure going to be getting are Moon Knight issue number 23 and Groot issue number 1. I am going to take a peek at some of the other ones to see if it's kind of included in with the ongoings that I'm reading. But if it's just its own separate thing, I'm definitely not going to be picking them up. But that is all the books coming out this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below which books you're going to be getting, which ones you think I'm going to be missing out on. If you want to check out some more content, I've got 2 more that's going to be popping up here momentarily. If you want to join my Discord, I've got that listed down below as well. It's a group of maybe 30, almost 40 people now. We talk comics and all the other stuff in the hobby on the daily. So let me know if you got any questions about that. And here's a quick preview of the upcoming live stream I'm going to be featured on from the EXP. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey there, Dynamite fans. Come join us here at The Experience this Wednesday, May 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, right here. It's on The Experience. May the 3rd be with... Oh, wait, that's May the 4th. Never mind. But it's still going to be a great show. I mean, Rex and John and AR and Lord knows what Nick is going to do. And will I be here? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I guess we'll just all find out together. But no matter what, it'll be a great time. So remember, it's May 3rd. It's a Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on The Experience. Can't wait to see you.